Hey guys, it's Mandee Montana, and I have got a super special guest on the phone with me today, Trent Terry with Sequoia Productions. And Trent, we've known each other for a long time because we grew up in the same town in East Texas. So I appreciate you joining me today to talk about the career path you've taken now in LA. So you're in the business of producing events, and you've got a really big one coming up Sunday, and you've had a couple of big ones already, right?
So this weekend, Sunday is a big day for us for sure. It's the Primetime Emmys, which will be televised on ABC this year. And the Emmys is one of our company's largest gigs that we get to do once a year. Our company produces the Governor's Ball, which is the official after party for the Emmys. And this year it is special because we don't only have one event, but not two events, but this year we have 3 events, which this past weekend we just finished 2 of them, back-to-back Creative Arts Night. And then, of course, this coming weekend is the Primetime Emmys.
So this weekend is the part that's actually going to be televised that we're used to watching with the host and all of the celebrities at the tables. And your job is to help create that party atmosphere, right?
Correct. So the guests will attend the show in the Microsoft Theater, and then directly after the show, they are all escorted over to our event, which is very high profile and definitely invite only. So, the press isn't in our event because it is so special for them.
Talk to me about the design of the event, because you sent me some photos, and this picture that you sent to me, it looks like, it just looks like a fantasy land of florals. It's absolutely stunning.
Yeah, so this year the design is called Nature's Elegance. And every year this design is brought to us by the committee, which is our client through the Television Academy. And they bring us their wish list, basically, and their theme. And then our team, with our owner, Cheryl Chiquetto, comes up with kind of the design of the event. And so this year, as you can see, it's a fantasy garden, so to speak. And there's so many florals and so much that goes into it. We have a team of about 35 companies that we use to put everything together. And this year, like you said, there's so many florals. It's crazy. There's over 800 arrangements between the 3 events, which is made up of 50,000 hydrangeas. We have over 80,000 roses that are used. So the numbers of the florals this year is really our focus point.
Well, they're definitely stunning. I'm looking at some of the centerpieces, and I'm wedding planning right now, Trent. And so I'm like, there's a lot of inspiration here. Obviously, not on this scale will I ever get to it, but it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, did you have a hand in some of this, arranging it?
No, the florals, so our company kind of works with so many teams, as I said, and it definitely takes an army to pull this together. As you can see in the photo, we have a ceiling installation, which is very important in the space that we have because it's so big. And whenever the guests come in, we want them to look up. And so the pieces that you see there, they're hanging pergolas, so to speak, and they're just hanging and dripping with wisteria and ivy and all kinds of branches. So those pieces in the ceiling were created from different companies that we work with. There's, like I said, there's so many people that put a hand into this, all based off of the direction of our owner, Cheryl Chiquetto.
It's incredible. So how long does it take to plan an event of this magnitude?
For the Emmys, we start out about 6 months in advance. So it takes definitely a lot of pre-production and a lot of hours coordinating with all the different people that we work with. But then we actually move our office on site. We leave our office in Culver City, and then we move everything downtown for this event. We've been there about 2.5 weeks now. So it takes a good 10-day build before the show. I
can imagine, because it just looks absolutely stunning. So what are you looking forward to most this weekend? What's the highlight for you?
It's like, for us, the highlight has happened in the fact that we've seen our work come to life, but then it just makes it so much more rewarding whenever we see the guests come in and they're just in awe. Last weekend with Creative Arts, it was so fascinating to me to see the guests come in, and as soon as they step in the door, they already have their phones in the air, taking pictures and videoing the moment because they're so happy, and that's what it's for. The Governor's Ball is hosted by the governors of the Television Academy so that they can entertain their guests and entertain all the nominees and the winners, just so that they can come after the show and have a great time and relax. Enjoy some amazing food by Patina. They do the catering for the event, and it's a fun atmosphere for everyone that's there.
It certainly appears that way. So how early, as a part of the production team, how early will you have to arrive, and how late will you have to stay? Is this an all-day thing for you?
For sure. So we will definitely be there no later than 10 a.m. and we stay till the event is over and all the guests are gone. So Our days will go until at least midnight, probably 1. And after the big event, especially with this being our last one of the 3, our team will get together and sit down and enjoy a dinner together. And so that's fun. We get to bond, and our company is very much a family atmosphere. So even though as tired as we are, we get together after the event and we enjoy that together. So, it's a long day, but it's definitely worth it.
So Trent, you've mentioned that a lot of different people come in, like 35 different teams, but somebody's organizing all of that, right? And that's the group that you work for. So who is Sequoia Productions and how did you find them?
Yes, Sequoia Productions. I started with Sequoia full-time in November, and I found them because, whenever I moved to LA, the number one event on my bucket list was the Oscars Governor's Ball, which Sequoia has done for many, many years. And Sequoia is led by Cheryl Chiquetto. She came to LA with the hopes of being an actress, and that's what she sought out when she got here. But once she was here, she kind of did some work with catering and with rentals, and she's done everything in the business, so she's very knowledgeable, and that's what has led to such a long career for her and for Sequoia, doing both the Oscars, and this is now her 19th Emmys Governor's Ball to produce this year. I found Sequoia and I found Cheryl, and once I found them, I was just in awe of their work and the history of events that they've produced. Cheryl has a book that is very interesting. I think a lot of people that's interested in events wants to know what goes behind it and wants to learn how to create their own event. Her book is definitely great for that. It's called Passion to Create, Your Invitation to Celebrate. And her book kind of talks about her history in the business and what goes into these events. And she also even includes a little section in there about planning your own event and, the checklist that you have to go through. And it's very interesting. And I'm very lucky and blessed to be with this company.
It sounds fascinating. I'm going to have to pick that book up. Like I said, I've got a small event I'm trying to put together. So I will definitely pick that up, Trent. I'm glad you mentioned it. So
yeah, well, there you go.
Like you said, you guys have done the Oscars with Sequoia Productions. Tell me about some of the other events that you've helped produce.
Wow. So, Oscars for many years. So, there's part of our team that is devoted to those 2 events and work on them year-round, because as soon as we finish one, we start on the other. They both take about 6 months to produce. But we've done, we do all kinds of events. Those are definitely our 2 larger events, but we've done all sorts of things. Before I joined with Sequoia, I freelanced for a year, and I worked for several different companies in LA that I was, very lucky to be a part of, one being Your Bash. And with them, I got to work on the American Idol finales and many events for Fox. And we did an event in New York for Guggenheim. We did their Christmas party, and I got to travel to Washington, D.C. and work on the Concert for Valor, which is a concert that HBO put on. It was amazing. So I've done all kinds of different events out here. I've done bat mitzvahs and, all kinds of different scale events.
Well, it sounds like you're having a lot of fun. And I know you grew up here in East Texas, and then you went and you studied at UNT, and that's where you got your degree?
Correct. I went to the University of North Texas and studied hospitality management. At the time, the college there was very focused on hotel and restaurant management, but they've seen the vast amount of people that want to use that degree for event planning. So now they're actually creating a whole division of that college with a focus in event production.
Well, that's cool. And you're a great alumni to show just how far you can take that. So I have to ask this because this is also part of the fun of being in LA and producing such big events. Have you met any really cool celebrities?
I have. Most of the events and entertainment that you do at this caliber are so high profile. Not many people are let in, but those that do are quite a sight to see. I've met Jessie J. She was one of my top favorites, and I met her. She was so sweet, and that is, it's rewarding whenever I meet celebrities, and I realize that, they're just normal people, and some of them are really nice, some of them are standoffish, but, to each their own. They all have their own personalities. Jessie J. I've met Leonardo DiCaprio, Lady Gaga, Sam Smith is also a sweetheart. He's, super nice, and they're always very appreciative and happy to be there. So that's exciting. They really are just normal people.
Yeah, and you get to create the event that they're so excited to be a part of. So that's got to be incredibly rewarding.
For sure.
Do you have a favorite out of all the events that you've produced so far?
I would say the Oscars and the Emmys are definitely up there because they've been what I've been looking forward to forever. But the event that I really enjoyed and just had so much fun at was the Concert for Valor in D.C. that I did with Your Bash. That event was held on Veterans Day, and it was kind of a tribute to veterans, but it was on the National Mall in D.C., and it was just a ginormous concert. There were so many different companies and players in the event. Our company was responsible for the VIP tent. So we produced those tents for the guests and for the, the high-end people, that the sponsors and such. That event, like I said, it's the largest concert I've ever been to. Carrie Underwood, Jennifer Hudson, Eminem and Rihanna performed, Metallica, Bruce Springsteen. It was the biggest in the music business were there. And just being with my team in DC, it was so much fun.
It sounds like it. Well, Trent, I really, really, really appreciate your time this week, as I know you're extremely busy. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I'm sure everything will be absolutely fabulous. And hopefully we'll get a chance to visit again after it's all wrapped.
Well, thank you. I definitely appreciate it. And yes, I always have stories. So whenever you want to chat, I'm happy to.